Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Ron Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, and we are on our Spotlight on Strategy. Today's topic is 5 tips for success, embracing adaptability. This is for all of our leaders, our entrepreneurs, our executives, our SMEs, our program managers, our team leaders, no matter what your position or what your role, embracing adaptability is going to help you, like the proverbial excellence quest seeker that you are in all things quality, innovation, entrepreneurship, etc., enable your journey forward because it helps you not get stuck. And why does that matter to executives, leaders, SMEs, entrepreneurs? It's because when we are resilient, when we are adaptable, when we are innovative, or we can bring all of our gifts to the table. Our background, our skills, our knowledge, our strong interests, and it helps us be more creative and more innovative because we then can bring together these disparate elements from a parallel thinking standpoint to the challenges and opportunities at hand. So our 5 tips for success on our spotlight strategy on strategy today is about staying informed. I know that all of you as practitioners, as entrepreneurs are probably already doing this, but I'd like for you in December to think about how you might be more focused and impactful with your learning moving forward. Is there aggregation sites? Is there an RSS feed? Is there nuggets that you can receive instead of you having to go scan the ecosystem consistently to find the information? How can you harness AI? How can you harness automation? How can you harness aggregation sites to give you the feeds that are most relevant and necessary to help you move your career trajectory forward? And so that's staying informed. The next is really going back to that point about parallel thinking. So often we have tunnel vision at times. We put our blinders on to help us focus, but because of that, we're not able then to understand how innovations and advances and technologies, processes, things that they're doing across the people and workforce and leadership spectrums can be harnessed and utilized to address a gap, to address a challenge, to fulfill an opportunity at the highest level possible. And so I ask you, as you're thinking about your approach, how might you be able to craft a query or craft an automated mechanism for finding out how they're harnessing and utilizing some of these core capability areas across multiple industries so that you get a broader, deeper understanding of what's going on within the broader ecosystem. The next one is about really maintaining your sanity as you're moving through your growth cycles, etc. And so that's really about your mindset and creating practices and then an approach that allows you to stay nimble and flexible. And so in this area, we want to encourage you to think of ways to perhaps as you're going through December and into the new year, where do you see some stuckness, or where do you, I would say, probably feel some stuckness? Where are you observing perhaps some rigidity, either in approach or in the way that you're learning and the way that you're interacting with your teams? What's perhaps 1 to 3 new tactics and techniques that you can harness and leverage to help you grow, your organization grow, your team grow, and really embrace and empower and educate that suite of executives, leaders, partners, customers, and clients that you are so important to? How can you approach things differently so that there's resiliency, so that there's a nimbleness, so that there's less resistance and more flow and fluidity in the way that you're handling your approach, the way that you're handling any potential challenges that arise, and more so, how can you encompass more of disparate perspectives that are being offered to you to enhance your ability to scale and serve given your organization or your industry focus? To that point about flexibility and mindset and openness, we also talk about harnessing multi-scenario planning. And why do we do this? Because it helps you open the aperture of your mindset to understand what are different outcomes that occur. Not only does this help us organically break through our own success ceilings or through a resistance spot, it helps us reduce risk. It helps us better improve our approaches in areas of innovation, in areas of resiliency, in areas of strategic planning and envisioning and an objective. So scenario planning helps us quantify, helps us qualify, helps us reduce risk. But what it also helps is it helps us innovate, because we are learning and seeing things that unless we went through those exercises, we wouldn't necessarily have uncovered ourselves, given our prior planning practices. So I invite you again, that multi-scenario planning for different outcome levels and different results levels, given your strategic vision and plan to date. If that's not something you've been doing, I would encourage and invite you to undertake one of those exercises with your team to see how much further and faster you can go just using a very simple strategic planning and scenario planning framework to help you understand what's in the art of possible for 2024, 2025, and beyond. The next is invest in learning. Along with creating a more flexible mindset and staying open, investing in learning comes in multiple forms. It's scanning the horizon for what are the new teachings, learnings, a blog, a book, a website, a conference, and some thought leadership piece that will be and enable your aha moment for what you need right now. Maybe it starts with a list of 3 areas you would like yourself and your organization or your team to grow in. Who is supplying thought leadership and content in those areas? And what's 1 to 3 things you can take away and put into practice in 2024 and beyond that will really help you scale and move the needle? This does not have to be a large undertaking. That's what's most important, is you conducting the gap analysis, understanding your top 3 that you want to move the needle on, and identifying again a blog, a piece of thought leadership content, a book, a conference, an educational course that you can chunk down to bite-sized nuggets and share across your organization with your partners, with your customers and clients to help move the needle forward. And it's just that consistency, that prioritization, that willingness to adapt and go to the next level that's going to help you get into momentum and increase your capabilities in this area. And then last but not least is the cultural change that occurs through the use of these other four areas and the desire and intent to move the needle in the culture area. What are we looking for? Resiliency, heightened adaptability, greater flexibility, because those are really the undergirdings of heightened creativity, of enhanced innovation, of embracing an excellence mindset and approach, of heightening our quality. All of these go hand in hand, but it's really you deciding that you're going to make a change in this cultural area that will really have the ripple effect and the positive impact on your people, on your leaders, on your partners, on your customers and your client and the ecosystem overall. And it's really a momentum driver, because once you decide and commit in this area, more thought leadership, more content, more products, more services, or heightened levels of quality and innovation in each of these areas to drive exponential outcomes for you and your teams. I invite you to look at how you and your organization can, and your teams can, embrace adaptability using these 5 core elements: staying informed, a flexible mindset, harnessing multi-scenario planning, investing in learning, and creating a resilient culture. How that helps you scale, how that helps you deepen your commitment levels of service, and through a head, heart, and mind approach, really move the needle for your organization, your team, yourself, your customers, clients, and partners going forward into 2024 and 2025. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, sharing 5 top tips for success on this week's Spotlight on Strategy. Our next session will be a year in review of what we've had a chance to talk about in our Spotlight on Strategy series for 2023, and a look forward on how we're going to embrace strategy in 2024 and beyond. We can't wait to share that roadmap with you and to just celebrate all the successes and the forward movement that each and every one of you have achieved throughout 2023 thus far. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the Success Strategy, signing off on our Spotlight on Strategy session for today, and invite you back next week for our final session of Spotlight on Strategy 2023.